Hey y'all, welcome to the Warp Zone. I'm Mellow Joe. Subversive September continues this week with the Saboteur. The Saboteur was released in 2009 and it was the last game from Pandemic Studios. The game is set in Nazi-occupied France during World War II. This is an open-world action-adventure where you get to play as a tough Irish mechanic who joins the French resistance after his best friend is killed by Nazis. The game starts fairly linear as it introduces you to various characters, game mechanics, and backstory. You play as a gruff Irishman, Sean Devlin, a race car driver who found himself thrust into the middle of the Nazi invasion of France. The villain is an evil German named Kurt Durker, who begins as Sean's racing rival and is later revealed to be an SS commander. Once you're past the prologue, you're then able to explore the streets of Paris. Paris is occupied by the Nazis when you begin, and here's where you'll see what I think is the coolest aspect of the game. The occupied parts of the city are depicted in nearly all black and white, with the only colors showing are the red on the Nazi iconography. It's dreary and rainy. Some yellow light shines through the windows, and you may see an occasional hint of blue, like Luke's scarf, representing the resistance. As you liberate areas of the city, the natural color returns with blue skies and hopes for a better tomorrow. There's parkour, and it's okay. It's not quite as smooth as Assassin's Creed, which came out a couple of years before this one. Stealth is an option as you play, but you may find yourself just saying to hell with it and start blasting away at your foes. The driving is okay, but other open world games do it a little better. There's a perks tree, which unlocks additional skills and abilities as you go, and it's undeniably fun to find new ways to kill Nazis. At the end of the day, we've got a pretty okay game here. It's not perfect, and other games do similar things better. It feels like an action movie you'd watch with low expectations while stuffing popcorn into your face. Don't get me wrong here, I don't think this is a bad game. I've enjoyed returning to it years later for this video. And you can buy this one for the price of a combo meal, so I don't feel off about recommending it. But there are a couple of caveats. If you decide you want to play this game from 2009 on a PC today, you're going to need to have the patience to comb through some message boards on how to configure it to actually run in HD on a modern Windows system. Some people even reported they couldn't get the thing to open, so yeah, just bring your patience if you want to try it out. This game is begging for a remastered version, but to me it seems unlikely we'll ever get one. Some of you may want to check the menu for one more additional option.
Oh, that's more like it.
Sean, it's YouTube, buddy.
Put the kiddies to bed already.
So there you have it. 2009's The Saboteur is a decent game. It's not the best at anything it does, really, but it's also not the worst. For better or worse, it feels like an old school action movie. And bonus points because you get to kill Nazis. Stand by for your Subversive September dossier. Notice how the Resistance headquarters has walls just lined with books. Sometimes Resistance is more about brains than bullets. Here's some books I recommend adding to the walls of your Resistance headquarters. First up, we've got On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder. Let's look at one quick excerpt and then we'll move on. In it he says, "It is not the ordinary that excites and drives us, but our emotions, especially fear and greed. To focus such drives, we look to a leader, and leaders often manipulate these emotions and our tribal instincts to harness us against some demonized other, like the Jew for the Nazis, the Rwandan Tutsi for the Hutus, or people of color for white supremacists." That's just a small taste of what you'll be getting into with Timothy Snyder's book. It's a lesson that will be helpful for you in next week's dossier. Next up, we've got one that was declassified in 2008, the Simple Sabotage Field Manual. There's a link to a PDF version below in the description. Do yourself a favor and read it for the resistance. There's also print copies available at your local library and for sale from your favorite bookstore, but the PDF version linked below is free. The Saboteur shows us how even small acts of sabotage chip away at an occupying force. Resistance doesn't always mean giant gestures, it's also the whispers, the disruptions, the refusal to cooperate. Authoritarian systems depend on everyone playing along. Break that rhythm, and you weaken the grip. That's your Subversive September dossier. Stay sharp and stay loud. We're wrapping up Subversive September next week with a look at the Iranian Revolution in 1979 Revolution Black Friday. For the Warp Zone, I'm Mellow Joe.